Well, hi guys. I've joined with Gabby today to just do a little bit of a brief overview of Pipeline. Now this is just an internal recording, so I'm going to refer to my notes to make sure I don't miss any of the key points. Bear with me and please watch it to the very end. First of all, this year we're putting a lot of focus into Pipeline. It's a critical piece and it is the end of measure to tell us that we've been doing everything right in the preliminary stages of my desktop, that we've got enough clean data, that we've been able to make sufficient contacts 4 times a year. We've been sending out property reports. We've been able to do appraisals. And this is all part of that process to build up a constant flow of business. One of the critical things that we're finding now is that people who don't have a steady flow of pipeline are getting affected where they might have one good month with a number of properties and then several months where they've got very few listings. Now, I think what we all do know that given the current success rate of anywhere between 50 and 75% sales ratio to all of the listings, most people in our office would want to have at least one listing a week. That's 4 a month to be sure that they could sell between 2 and 3 properties a month. For others, you'd want as many as 6. And so you need to have a pipeline that's delivering sufficient inquiries or sufficient leads to you to be able to secure that many listings. What we are finding that for most people, you need to have somewhere between 2 and 3 in your pipeline to be sure to get one listing. So again, if you're thinking in terms of having 4 listings for the month, you'd want to have anywhere from 8 to 10 in your pipeline for any given month. So a couple of key things that we need to be thinking about. One is there are 2 types of pipeline. One is archived, which means properties that turned up in your system that were meant to be listed in previous months that you haven't updated to bring them forward to subsequent months. So you need to have a good look at the archiving. They should be, at the end of each month, move forward all of the listings out of archiving into forward projections of which months they're going to turn up. And then of course that month's pipeline. What listings are turning up this month that I should be trying to secure? So big focus on that. We know that overall, over say a 6-month period, there should be something like 50 properties in that pipeline to give you some degree of comfort that you've got steady business coming through every month. Quick look at my notes. Not that one. Now we do understand a lot of people don't fully understand the significance of the pipeline. It's meant to, one, tell you these are the properties you've got to be working on for this month, but it's also meant to give you an indication as you look forward in the months subsequent, so the stock for April, for May, for June, for you to be able to detect early that there's a hole, there's a month where I don't have many, and to increase your prospecting so as to fill that particular month up. So it's a dual purpose. Next. Really key piece is about being realistic. There's a tendency for some people thinking, I need to put stuff in the pipeline because that'll keep my team leader happy. When they look at the numbers, Andrew, Michael, and all the rest of them will be happy that it looks like I've got a lot in the pipeline. What we need to have is the most accurate information, realistic prospects, because you're only fooling yourself, not us. And so you need to constantly be looking at the pipeline to say, does that person qualify? Your team leaders should be having a discussion with you along this in your one-on-ones to go, why is this in the pipeline? When did you last speak to them? What makes you think this is going to be a listing for this month or next month and so on? So realistic numbers in your pipeline, don't just put them in to make it look good. So that comes down to, it's more about quality than quantity. I think I've just about covered everything. You know where the quickest way to fill a gap? Other agent stock. Other agent stock are people who've been on the market, frustrated they haven't sold, disappointed in the agent they've got, and they're looking for an angel to come along, someone who can promise them a greater opportunity of selling their properties. And so we are that angel. We're the people that can come along and show them that we have another strategy. It's an auction to get action. And it's of course a marketing plan to create more buyers. We've had great success with this, many of our people in the office already. And so you need to understand how much they want to hear from you. They want to know who can give me some better strategy to get my property sold. And so whenever you've got a gap, that's how you fill the gap, by speaking to people who've been on the market for some period of time. We also know, of course, at this point in time, that the auctions are proving to be the most successful way of getting property sold. We saw that just last weekend. Glenn Williams listed the property, sold in the first week of marketing. The vendor just grabbed it. Glenn said, why is it that all my auction properties are getting action and my non-auctions aren't? And then speak to Steve Purcell, who just did his first 2 auctions probably in about 5 years. And Steve sold both of them under the hammer. And he said, I would never have done those deals if I hadn't have had them go to auction. So there's our strategy, marketing plans, get an auction, but you've got to do the work in making sure that pipeline's in place. Gabby's here to help. She'd love to assist you. She can do a realistic check with you on all you've got in your stock now, have a good look at what's coming up, and to make sure that you're in the best position to make sure you've got stock every month. Stock every month, you're making money. Let us know if there's any way we can help you.